The Cassiar Highway was intimidating. It was beautiful, no doubt, but I was afraid. There were bears, there were moose, there was no cell signal. This leg of the journey started as we wrapped up our time on Highway 16, west of Prince George and en route to Kitwanga. We stayed in a beautiful campground right at the base of the Cassiar Highway. This was the first time we paid for camping on this journey to Alaska. Here, I met some lovely folks and some lovely dogs.
Hi, April. Look at all these pretty doggies.
I was up until 2:30 last night and I didn't wake up until 10. It seems that it can be pretty easy for the circadian rhythm to get a little bit messed up out here because when it was basically still light out at close to 11 p.m., I wasn't particularly sleepy. I was warned about the Cassiar. It's 725 kilometers, 450 miles through some of the most remote and rugged wilderness in British Columbia. The Cassiar is one long, winding road with few gas stations, no cell service, and long stretches where you're more likely to see a bear than a human. And the forests here, they're the thickest I've ever seen in my life. I don't typically prefer campgrounds. In fact, I avoid them as often as possible. The thing is, it is just so darn remote, so I feel a lot better here. However, the camp host came up and said, lock your vehicles and stash away your food, put it in the bear lockers. She said we were almost shut down the other day because of the abundance of grizzlies that have come into the campground. Check out my breakfast today. I've got a base of Greek yogurt. You can barely see it with all its toppings, but it's a high protein Greek yogurt, full fat. And I have blueberries, kiwi, a dollop of peanut butter, sunflower seeds, almonds, cinnamon, and a drizzle of honey. That looks delicious. I'm so excited to eat it. I would like to show you what's happening here. I'm with Chloe, and the sheer amount of bugs is insane. It's unbelievably beautiful, but there are so many bugs. Let me show you what's going on. So my pants are tucked into my socks. It's hot, but I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. I have this net over my head. I have so many mosquito bites, and they're big. They're big up here. They're bigger than in Arizona. I also have bear spray in my pocket because we are in grizzly land. And I think I was sharing earlier that there is a big grizzly problem at this campground. I think I'm gonna need gloves because anywhere the mosquitoes can access, they do. I think I need a hat with this. I was warned about the mosquitoes in Alaska, but when I arrived at our second night stop along the Cassiar Highway, I felt a serious concern that these bugs might ruin the summer. I had never seen anything like it. Chloe and I could barely exist outside of the van. Thank goodness this has been the worst of it. Nothing else has come even close to this bad anywhere else along the journey. I'm getting ready to hit the road, but because I opened the door to let myself and Chloe in, I have to kill 15, 20 mosquitoes. I will tell you what, if this is what the summer looks like, I'm gonna struggle. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna struggle with it. I do not want to be driving down the road and distracted by so many of these. This is crazy. This is the most important thing I may have brought so far. This is crazy. It's been about 5 minutes since I was last filming. I've killed probably 15 mosquitoes in here, and there's more. I can hear them buzzing. I guess maybe I can calm down, accept what I can't change what I can. I can't change how many mosquitoes there are. I can swat them. I was truly upset and nervous about the sheer volume of mosquitoes. But then, we were on the open road again, and the highway has a way of helping me exhale. It's one of the reasons I love this nomadic life. I calm down in motion. Plus, this beauty became a balm, and these mountains became medicine. Beautiful, but I gotta say the bugs out here are rough. Over here it's these little tiny flies, but I haven't been out here more than 5 minutes and they're seriously like attacking. It's kind of crazy. It's difficult for me to film outside because of how many bugs there are. I much prefer the little teeny tiny flies to the mosquitoes, for sure. Although I'll tell you, I was out there for less than 5 minutes and they just swarmed my head. It's kind of crazy. I guess this is like the thick wilderness, right? And this is one thick forest. This might be the thickest forest I have ever been in. I gotta give Chloe a little break here, so we're gonna walk outside in just a moment. Wish us luck. The Cassiar Highway was born in the 1870s when thousands were drawn north by the glittering promise of gold. Prospectors followed riverbeds and ancient trade routes through thick, mosquito-dense, unforgiving wilderness. Over time, the dream shifted from gold to other minerals, in towns like Cassiar and Jade City rose from the earth. Some of these towns vanished as quickly as they appeared, as if they were swallowed whole by the forest. Though the dreams of golden minerals have long since faded, the Cassiar story didn't end there. The highway remained mostly gravel until the 1980s, when it was slowly paved to support transport from British Columbia to the Yukon. Even today, most of it feels untouched. There's no cell service, few gas stations, and hours between glimpses of another vehicle. And today, the Cassiar Highway is one of only 2 roads that connect the lower 48 states to Alaska. That is the 4th bear I've seen, and 3 of them have been black bears and 1 grizzly. So it was beautiful. It was huge. The flies love the bears too, just like they love my head. They were swarming around that thing. And Chloe adequately was afraid, which I just am delighted to see, because I've had a fear since we've been up here about her trying to dart at or charge a bear, and I don't think she will. She starts shaking and even crying a little bit upon seeing the bear. Oh, look at my proper little dog. Like, she just sits with her little arms crossed, all proper. That's right, isn't it? Nice and proper. You silly girl. It was getting late, so we found a free campsite a bit into the forest off the road. People ask if I get afraid. Rarely. I'm a little afraid. Oh my gosh. I'm just like really remote right now. I do have Starlink, so I'm able to connect to the internet and let people know my location and check in with them. So yay for connectivity in the modern world. But I will tell you, I am in grizzly and black bear country. It's just really remote. So I'm doing it. You know, I make all the decisions that are as smart as possible. I was gonna film me arranging my van and getting ready, but I think I'm just a little too unsettled, to be honest with you. This is weird. I wonder if I'm even gonna post this. I think so. I think why not tell you like the full scope of my experience. It's not total confidence all the time. It's bravery all the time. I'm brave out here. And smartly so. I mean, the truth is I'm sharing that I'm got some fear going on, because I do. But I also am very well trained. I took very good care of my vehicle. I have lots of protection with lots of excellent training for it. This is an adventure. Hi, sweetheart. I love you. First meal. It's almost noon, and this is part of like, it feels like it's maybe 9 a.m. My circadian rhythm is just so off with all the lighting. And I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, and that was because it was light outside, even though it didn't get dark until midnight. So it's gonna be like this probably the whole time I'm up here. So you know what? I'm just gonna let myself flow with it. You know what? All right. We're gonna do a little walk for Chloe, which, to be honest, I'm a little nervous about. It's kind of scary walking around here in bear country in woods that are so thick that you can't see the bear sneak up on you. He can just lurk behind trees. My sock on. He can just lurk behind trees and jump out at you. I don't know if that's actually what they do. Oh, Chloe does not like when I talk to the camera. Come here, do you want to say hi? Come say hi. You've been such a good doggy. To be honest, the Cassiar Highway has been kind of difficult for Chloe because we have not been able to run about like we usually do. And then her mother has been too chicken to go for long walks in these thick woods. So she's not getting the exercise she's used to, which as soon as we get to the wide open spaces of the Yukon, we are gonna do that. Now I've got to put the Starlink away. So I have to give a last loving look to all things I want for the internet. I put Chloe inside. I hear some rumbling in the forest bushes beyond there. Could be a human, could be a bear, but I'm not around any humans. I put my Starlink in this bag. So I just touched a little baby tree over here because it was so cute. And I got sap on my hand. And it's super sticky, so I gotta wipe it off because that drives me batty. I hope it comes off. Sometimes sap doesn't. But this scent, this aroma, it's the best sap I've ever smelled in my entire life. Wow. Oh my goodness, that is incredible. What is tree sap? I'm gonna be doing a little research on trees. I've suddenly become really fascinated with them, wanting to know a lot more about them. Here's the van. All nice and pretty. It's a very dusty window. These are the thick forests I stayed in last night. There's my girl. You ready for a big drive? You ready, honey? I love you. I'm so glad to be getting on the road again. I can't wait to get to the Yukon. I'm not gonna push it if I'm really tired, but I think that will be a goal today, to show you guys the beauty of the Cassiar Highway, but also to get to the wide open space of the Yukon. I really want to let Chloe run wild and free again. I'm not sure that the camera is picking up the depth of the enormity of these potholes. So they're massive. I have to go super, super slow. Wow, look at this. I must have gone really slow over these last night on the way in. This is not a high clearance vehicle. We've hit the gravel patches on the Cassiar Highway. I've heard about these, that there's some stretches where it's not paved. Here they are. And these gravel patches have quite the potholes. 200 miles, I wonder how long it's gonna be like this. Is that pavement? If so, that was very short-lived. Woohoo! Pavement! These are what the roads are like. Notice how it's essentially as wide as one lane, but there's not like a center line. You have to share this road sometimes with semis. I happened to be driving the Cassiar right as there was a tanker truck that rolled over, and it actually shut the road down for about a day. And I just passed the scene of it, and apparently the driver did sustain injuries, is in the hospital. I've been trying to figure out the status of his condition. It just makes me so sad. You know, you just never know when a moment can turn so tragic. So hold your loved ones tight. Let people you love know you care about them, you know. I want another cup of coffee. I need another cup of coffee. Stay, honey. Okay. Good girl. Okay. Up, up. It's quite chilly, which I like. I'm a cold weather gal. I'm eager to make my second cup of coffee for the day. Coffee is one of my favorite parts of the day. My goodness, this is pretty. My windows are so dirty, but I'm still going to show you what I'm looking at. Yay! It's ready! It's so strange that this Cassiar Highway is unbelievably beautiful, and yet I'm quite eager to get to the Alaska Highway, quite eager to get to more wide open spaces. These dense forests, while alone, are just simply intimidating. They just are. Speaking of which, oh, sweetie, Ugh. We only were at this spot for like half an hour. I'm bummed to leave it. It's so pretty, but I'll tell you what, up the Cassiar Highway, there are so many spots like this. And I bet that lake is like a crystal blue in the sunshine. It's hard to see in the clouds what its actual color is, but when Chloe and I walked down by the water, it was spectacular. Okay, another 5 to 6 to 7 hours to go. It was strange to feel both intimidated and in awe all at once. And for context, I've been traveling solo for nearly 3.5 years now. I'm no stranger to deep and distant places, far in the wilderness, well beyond the reach of civilization. But out here on the Cassiar, it was a different kind of far. You could feel the remoteness in your bones. I've never heard such a delightful silence. But that same silence carried the knowing that if something went wrong, help wouldn't come quickly. And yet, even in my trepidation, even as I kept one eye on the road and the other on the miles to the Alcan, I loved it. Looking back, I wish I would have relaxed a little more, surrendered to it. At times, I counted the hours between seeing another human. The longest stretch was 4 hours. And despite the hesitation I carried, this experience reminded me, I can do hard things. I'm stronger for having driven this road alone. It's so beautiful. I had to stop. There's barely ever any traffic on this road, so you can kind of stop even though there's not shoulders. I have my blinkers on, just there was a car several miles behind me. Just look at that. Look at that. And it's like that all around, all over the place, you guys. Oh my goodness. My energy just dipped, so I can come back here and just relax. It is so peaceful. It's my favorite temperature, which I think is the low 50s. I love whenever the high is in the low 50s. That's my favorite. And I like when the low doesn't get colder than 25. So 25 to about 52. Hey, that's inverse. I didn't even know that, like, until I said it. I just took like a 30 or 40 minute break. I didn't even mean to. We pulled over for a little tiny rest stop, and it ended up being a big rest stop. Feels good. I'm tired, but I really want to get to the Alaska Highway. I wonder if we can get there tonight. We still have like about 80 miles or so till we get there, and on this very narrow, windy road, that is quite a distance. 100 miles on a freeway, not a big deal. 100 miles on the Cassiar Highway takes a while. This road is long and far and narrow and windy. And it is very, very far, but I've taken it so slow that I don't think it's quite registered how far I am. I love seeing where I'm at on a map. I'm like, no way, I'm way up here. I had to play it cool for a minute, but just a minute. Hi! 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 Oh! Chloe didn't like that. We just reached the Yukon. Oh my gosh. Coming to the Yukon has been such a dream. It has been such a dream. I could tell there was this one point going over the hill on the Cassiar where you could look and see out. And it's like, oh my gosh, that is the Yukon out there. That's the Yukon. That's the Yukon. And here we have modern-day relics left behind by fellow travelers, pioneers, nomads, wanderers, nature lovers, and those who heard that same whisper of the North. Their sticker emblems filled the window like a mosaic of dreamers who dared enough to make their dreams come true. I have never heard a gas pump make that noise. I wonder what the heck. That wall of stickers was so cool. Did you guys see that? There's so many stickers. I don't have an Autumn and Chloe sticker. We probably ought to get one, I think. But they're all over there, which is so cool. And we're at the Alaska Highway. We're 424 miles from Whitehorse. I mean, kilometers, that's different. 424 kilometers is like 200 and some, maybe 250 miles, something like that. And just like that, we were on the Alaska Highway driving through the Yukon, with several more days of travel before reaching the Alaskan border. Be sure to join us next time as we take this final stretch north on the road to Alaska.